Colgate is not an Indian company, but it took over the Indian dental hygiene space 2 decades ago. The reason I wanted to make a business case study about Colgate, and I was telling my team every single day, we should do Colgate, is because Colgate played the game completely differently to every other toothpaste company out there. Colgate's oral hygiene products were first sold all the way back in 1873, 16 years after the death of the founder, William Colgate. The company originally sold soap and only started making toothbrushes and toothpastes after some market research in the US proved that there was demand. In fact, Colgate toothpaste was sold in glass jars. Tubes were only introduced in 1896. Today, Colgate does $6 billion in annual sales. $2.76 billion of that is pure profit. Even though Colgate is based out of New York, its bread and butter mostly comes from international sales, which accounts for 64% of their sales. The toothpaste market in India, for example, is estimated at 6,000 crores and is growing 20% year on year. Toothpaste has super high penetration, around 78% of urban India. Colgate in India is the overall market leader with 56% market share. In 1991, Colgate launched two lines of toothbrushes, Colgate Classic and Colgate Plus. Colgate Plus was the professional segment. It's a premium segment, while Classic was the value segment. You've probably seen many companies do this. They'll have two segments, one for the average consumer and one for rich people who can pay more. There's usually never too much of a difference between the two products, but hey, companies need to do this, otherwise they dilute their positioning. One of the executives in 1990s found a very interesting piece of insight that 82% of toothbrush buys are actually unplanned. People seem to buy toothbrushes the same way you buy chewing gum in a store. You're walking around in a store, you see a chewing gum and you pick it up because it doesn't cost much. As you will learn in our case studies, most businesses are built on top of a single unique insight that other brands or companies simply don't understand yet. So here's what Colgate did. They sold their toothbrushes like a pack of chewing gum or small chocolate. This and the rest of this video is a very important lesson for the viewers who want to understand how to win in the low ticket product segment. Okay, so back to Colgate. First thing, they did a lot of buy one get one schemes. Mostly buy one toothbrush and get one toothpaste free. Combining the toothbrush with the toothpaste increased sales by 170%. Even though it looks like it's a bundle, the cost of the toothpaste has already been bundled with the cost of the toothbrush. Number two, they spent a lot of their money on in-store displays instead of billboards. While their competitors were putting up big billboards, Colgate understood that toothbrush buys are unplanned. So it's not like somebody will look at a billboard and go to a store and say, yeah, I saw the billboard, I want to buy this now. Instead, you need to win the advertising sphere of the entire store. So while other companies said, the city is our domain and we will put up billboards to win your attention, Colgate said, screw all that, and they just won your attention inside the store. Third thing is that they uniquely position their product in the store. They realized the store is our domain, so they put their product line in between Oral-B and Reach, which was another toothbrush brand, for maximal sales. Just like many sellers and business owners try to optimize their Google SEO ranking today, Colgate optimized their in-store positioning. They do not care about the outside. They realized you make the purchase inside, so let's win the inside. They ran another research survey to gain more insights. Because like I said, insights run the business. They realized that while most toothbrush purchases are unplanned, people still made a choice when presented options in a store. According to most customers, these were the reasons to choose a toothbrush. The first one will absolutely surprise you. That's right. The first one is, fits most comfortably in my mouth. That was the number one customer need, proving that customers are not rational when making purchases at all. Colgate had to quickly adapt to this sentiment. They were winning in store, but they also had to make sure their product won against the other people in the store. So they introduced the first ever diamond-shaped toothbrush that would fit perfectly in your mouth. And their tagline was, shaped to keep your whole mouth in shape. In 1987, they differentiated even more by making the toothbrush look even more odd looking.
The name is born. Sponsor born. Cryo is an effective way to supercharge your developer career, which offers fellowship program with job guarantee. Learn one-on-one with industry-leading mentors who work with companies like Microsoft and Flipkart. Many students have transformed their career with an average CTC of 11 LPA and average dream job of 22 LPA. Learn by doing industry-grade projects like the top 1% of developers. Don't believe me? Here are the testimonials of the students. You can book your free trial right now. And when satisfied, you can apply for the full course via Easy EMI. Cryo prepares you to break into top developer jobs in the market. You can get jobs up to 40 lakhs per annum and average salary hike of 89%. Join Cryo to involve yourself into immersive work experience-based programs to crack jobs at the fastest growing companies. Click the link in the video description. Check it out.
This is another piece of insight for you. Being diamond shaped, and we know this today, is not any better for your teeth or for cavity prevention. You can ask any dentist this. Whatever benefits it might provide are minimal at best. But what we have learned when you're in a competitive space of toothbrushes, that it's very easy to manufacture a toothbrush. Differentiation matters more than being better. Think about it. How do people choose between Zomato and Swiggy? If you ask people, some people will say, well, I choose Zomato because of faster delivery, or I choose Swiggy because of better UI. But here's the thing. Both Swiggy and Zomato are billion-dollar companies. They can hire each other's talent, they can copy each other's UI, they can steal each other's drivers. When a person doesn't have any of these claims left, they say, well, I choose Swiggy because it's orange and I like orange. Or I choose Zomato because they throw parties. The truth is, at scale, there is no real reason you would choose A or B, and that's where differentiation, being different, matters more than being better, because if you are better, someone with a unique brand will just copy you. If you are different, that becomes your calling card. Features are not defensible, your brand is. And to build a brand, you need to be different. The masterstroke of Colgate was that it was different in a way that mattered to the irrational customer who cared more about shape than anything. Now, Colgate's story doesn't end there. In 2000s, something changed. Hollywood became massive. Actors were on the big screen and the small screen. And when they flashed a smile, they flashed a white, shiny smile. Important to note here that these smiles weren't natural. It was because of the magic of dentistry, specifically a new technology called dental veneers. So what dentists used to do, and they still do, is that they shave off a little bit of your enamel, the top of your teeth, and cement on dental veneers. Dental veneers are tooth-like structures made of porcelain that can be any color you like. Earlier, veneers used to be used to correct the shape of bad or broken teeth. But now, they were purely being used for color correction for Hollywood. Companies like Colgate had a hard time keeping up with this because the number one customer requested feature wasn't comfort in the mouth anymore, it was pure white teeth. So they introduced a line of products like Colgate Visible White and pivoted the marketing story to white teeth under the pressure from all things Hollywood.
सर आपने डेप्सोडेंट का नया ऐड देखा है? नहीं लगाओ.
Depsodent makes my teeth white, which is why you should also try it.
Cut it!
हो गया सूट.
In 2010, the story changed yet again. Customers now started becoming very health conscious. Dental health also became very important. And one company that was starting to win because of this change in customer needs was Oral-B. Now, Oral-B has always been a niche brand. It's always been small. It's always looked as a medical brand and dentists and average customer didn't care in the last decade. Let's get back to the Dentist Ka Sujaya Hua #1 brand. Colgate keeps talking about the IDA, the Indian Dental Association. Guess what? The Indian Dental Association events are sponsored by Colgate. The IDA and Colgate give scholarships to students every year as well. They have a very tight relationship, which is why they keep saying that they're recommended. They run various programs and conferences on the national level with association with each other. Sponsor awards are also granted by the IDA and sponsored by Colgate. So while Oral-B took decades to win the trust of dentists, Colgate simply started sponsoring their events, if you know what I mean. In 2007, the Advertising Standards Authority in the UK told Colgate it could no longer make the claim that 4 out of 5 dentists recommended Colgate. Investigation had showed that when they had telephoned people and asked them to list their favorite toothpaste, their competitors were recommended at similar rates. The claim was deemed deceptive. So Colgate in its modern form has been around for many decades. Their product line today literally represents the decades of changes in consumer needs. They have 5 product lines today. Germ and tooth decay, which is the most modern line. Sensitivity, which is a niche line. Whitening, like I told you, because of Hollywood. Gel, because it was messy, it's more like a comfort thing, like I told you in the beginning. And finally, the children's segment, which is started in the early 2000s. The problem right now is that they're starting to lose in each segment. Oral-B, for example, is winning germ and tooth decay. Sensodyne is winning sensitivity. The multi-use segment, where you say this handles sensitivity, plus it handles germs, plus it handles whitening, the audience doesn't care about this. Even if you tell them this paste solves all 3 of your issues, audience still prefers to buy a paste that solves just one. Colgate has over the years tried to fight these sub-segments, all of these individual segments, by spinning out a separate toothpaste and toothbrush for each. For example, they have Colgate Gel, Colgate Sensitive, Colgate Herbal, Colgate Active Salt, Colgate Total, and Colgate Active White, and so many more segments, right? However, the story still remains. Every decade, customer needs change, and customer needs are always irrational. And finally, if you're selling low-ticket products, your fight is not on the billboards, your fight is inside the store.
Hey, hey, wakey, brush your teeth, put on the Colgate, go find your soulmate. Hey, hey, wakey, brush your teeth, go find your soulmate before it's too late.
नहीं इंडियन फिर भी लिया पूरा इंडियन डेंटल हाइजीन स्पेस बेचते तो हम सोचते पर आज देख तेरे मुंह में मेरे टूथपेस्ट बाय वन गेट वन फेल पर सर्वे गेन्स मेरे मार्केट में ओरल बी और पेप्सोडेंट से आगे थे दांतों के हम शहजादे मसूड़ा दर्द हम आ गए थे टीवी पे भी हम दिखे भले सारे डेंटिस्ट रेकमेंड दिस पर यू वांट मी कॉज मेरी प्रोडक्ट लाइन फॉर डिकेड्स
क्या आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है?
Hey, hey, wakey, brush your teeth, put on the Colgate, go find your soulmate. Hey, hey, wakey, brush your teeth, go find your soulmate before it's too late. Go find your soulmate before it's too late.